Sam, there was another concentration camp. Why were you moved? What happened?
What happened to us is, now here we have all these Jews. There's a town called Czestochowa. There they're making bullets for the war. We need more slave laborers. That was the deal. So they came with cattle cars, and there were so many Jews there were like 2 or 3 transports. And we were taken to the other concentration camp, Czestochowa. Now, I was in the last transport, and I remember being in the cattle cars. It was packed. It was crowded. There's no water, no toilets. People are crying. There may even be some people dead. It was terrible. Absolutely. You know, in my mind, I felt as a kid like it was in the belly of a monster. That's how I felt, thinking back. I don't know, we were in that cattle car about maybe 2 or 3 days. Don't remember how long. And the train slowed down. Oh, I remember you're going through various towns. And as you go through a little town, you hear clink, 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 and the gates go down. When the gates go down, you hear little dogs barking, children talking, and the train goes through, and I hear all of this. Oh, that hurt. I wished I was there. As a matter of fact, I wished there was a little dog out there than being in this miserable cattle car. Well, we kept going. The train slowed down, and it stopped. After a while, the doors in the cattle car were ripped open. Suddenly I hear commotions and people, "Raus, come on out," and German yelling, dogs were barking. And we walked down sort of like a wooden plank. And Rosa held on to my hand. She told Sarah and me we should stand on our toes so we looked taller. I came down on the wooden plank. My height was not there. A Nazi soldier saw me and had to rip me away from the grasp of Rosa's hand. I wouldn't go. He kicked me in my chest. Skinny little chest. You know, I don't remember the pain. I just remember he had a boot. His boot went all the way up to his knee, shiny. I still can see that boot coming at me. That's what it was. And I was taken. Rosa was crying. There's nothing she could do about it. Sarah made it through. She made it through. She was going to do some work in the bullet factories. I was taken away to be held in a separate little room with 4 other children. They were all on that train. The way it worked in that, the procedure is when children would come, they'd take them over there. The next day, they would put them on a truck, take them in the woods and shoot them. And that's what was supposed to happen to me. Except one miracle. This is the miracle. In Demblin concentration camp, there was a man called Vankart. Vankart was a Jew from Austria. All I could speak was German. Tall man. He was working on that airfield in Demblin. One day, another SS guy, German soldier, walks by, looks at him, goes over and hugs him and kisses him. Herman. It seems the 2 were in World War I serving the Austrian army. Now this Nazi was wounded, laying on the ground. Vankart threw him on his back and ran for safety while the bullets were going. How does that help me? When we went, just before we went to Czestochowa, Venkar went to the soldiers, says, please write a letter so that my little daughter Ruti, who was my age, can be saved. So he wrote a letter, and Venkar's carrying the letter till we get off. We got off, and he presents it to the SS man, a killer, a guy by the name of Bartenschlager. He was a terrible guy. Bartenschlager says, no, well, and Venkar starts yelling back at him, saying, look, how can one German soldier not listen to another? Anyway, they were going back and forth. Bartenschlager, the SS guy, says, deine bleibt, which means yours stays. Venkar looked at him and said, alle oder keine, all or none. Wow. After a while, the SS guy says, okay, but if we didn't go in, but if we see him, they get shot. I was saved. Now, here's the part. The people in the concentration camp already knew that the strain was coming with children, apparently. They were all lined up behind the barbed wires, trying to take a peek at these 5 skinny little kids. Suddenly we appear, and I can see it. We're walking in the direction toward the barbed wire gate. The gate is opened, and those people are crying with joy. And I remember they picked me up and handed me from one person to the other with laughter and joy and tears, kissing. See, they hadn't seen a child, their own child or grandchild, in any of those years. And here we are. There's a Jewish holiday called Simchas Torah, the joy of Torah. And the Torah, which is the key thing in Judaism, is passed around. And I felt as though I was the Torah being handed from hand to hand. This is a memory in my mind, because to this day, I know that there were 1.5 million Jewish children that died. I made it. I owe it to share it to the rest of the world.